Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whims Studio. Hey friends, I'm so glad to be back with you. It's been almost a month since my last video. My last one was January 8th and today is February 3rd, so almost a month. And yeah, this is Flosstube 196. So welcome. I want to start this video off with my sincerest condolences for Jean Lee's family and all the ladies that work at the Attic Needlework in Mesa, Arizona. Jean passed away last week and it's been really difficult. She is like a shining light in this industry and she will continue to shine. She left an amazing legacy with not only her store, but her retreats, and more so just by the lives that she touched. She embraced everyone, no matter what you stitched on, no matter who you were. Like, she loved everyone and she was such an encourager. That to me is the epitome of Jean, is just to encourage people in their needlework, wherever you're at in your needlework life. She just, you know, of course she encouraged everyone to stitch on 56 count because that was her favorite. And I have to say, you know, I've been blessed to have her in my life, even though I didn't see her a lot. I mean, I'm in Michigan, she's in Arizona, but I would see her at market every year. And like some of the first times I really, you know, because market is very busy. And when I first started, I didn't know the shop owners, and you know, it took years because I'm not real good with names and all that. Well, anyway, it took years to kind of get someone to walk in the door and for me to say, oh, that's so-and-so, the name of their shop is so-and-so. You know, that takes a long time because there's so many of them. But one of the first times that I remember Jean being just so kind to me was when I first started to design cross stitch. Many of you probably have already heard my story. Just real brief is the fact that when I got into the needlework industry and started doing the wholesale market, it was many moons ago, and I started with punch needle, and I did just punch needle for several years. Probably the first or the last 3 years of that was shops coming in and say, will you please design cross stitch? Like, we really like your stuff, but we don't sell much punch needle, or some of them didn't sell punch needle at all. And they wanted to see my designs translated into cross stitch. So there was a lot of encouragers there, but Jean was one of the biggest. And I just remember this one time she put her hand on my hand and she looked me in the eyes and she said, you're such a blessing to this community. And I mean, like, she made me tear up. She makes me tear up a lot. Like, she says the sweetest things and she's just so genuine and so kind. And I've said this before, she makes you feel like you're the only person in the room when she's talking with you. It's such a beautiful gift. But she will be missed by so many people. But the thing is, her legacy lives on. And she's at peace. She's not in pain anymore. So that's the beautiful part of this whole thing, is our memories of her. She will be so missed. Market's right around the corner, and it'll be so strange to not see her there. But anyways, so I wanted to start off with that because it's just so important when we lose, you know, anybody in our community, but especially an icon such as Jean. Always forward. So I'm going to share with you my whips. I'm very unorganized because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a floss tube today. I brought all my things down here in the hopes of doing one, but I didn't know how busy it would be down here with the guys working. Kyle's not here yet, and Kevin just left to run errands. So I'm like, I'm just gonna jump right into it. And if I have to pause to go get something, so be it. I can splice it all together. So there you go. I worked on so much stuff. That's not proper English, but yeah. So I worked on so many things, let's put it that way. I did not, unfortunately, work on my 56 count piece that when I was at the Attic Needlework. So my first time at the Attic Needlework was just last November when I was one of the guest designers at the Autumn of Abundance retreat. Boy, was that an amazing experience, and I cannot wait to go back to that shop. It's just so inspiring. But Donna Lightsky and I, we picked out a pattern, we picked out some fabric, and we picked out a floss and decided to give it a go. And I, unfortunately, since my last video, have not worked on it because I had a piece that was my focus piece for January, because it was not only my blessing stitch, but it was also my birthday sale. So let me see where my stuff's at. I'll be right back. I'm like, how am I going to carry all that stuff down here? So, I mean, there's a little bit of haul in here as well, but most of these are my projects, just to be able to transport them from the house down here to the studio. So let's just get into it and see where we're at. So I'll show you just kind of in the order I'm pulling them out of my bag. This is Hometown. This is my stitch along in my Patreon group. Oh Lord, I don't have the... Here's the floss. I'm a floss away bag girl, because you know, I love all the pretty ways that y'all show your floss on the floss drops. I prefer that look. It looks so beautiful when you can see all the colors at once. It's very nice. But this for me is way more practical, and it just works for me, right? We all have our ways of doing things, and we find what works for us. We find what we like to stitch on the best, and we just do our own thing, right? Okay, well, I don't have my card in there to show me what this is. This is 40 count, I want to say up in the attic. It's Fox and Rabbit. It's pretty sure it's up in the attic. If it's not, I'll put it down here. Here is where I'm at on this, and I really should have my board to show you guys. I'll put a little picture up to show you where I was before, but basically I'm working on that blue house. It's gonna say honey on it. It's gonna have a little sign that says honey, and then there's gonna be bee skips around it with some bees and some flowers. So I want to get that done. My goal, so the 15th is when part 14 will drop, page 14 will drop, which will be like this section right here. So I want to get this done, and I want to work on that before the 15th of February. So I've got a couple weeks. This should not be a problem for me to get that much done. And then I don't even know what's supposed to go here, but whatever is supposed to go there, I need to work on that too. But I'm loving this. This is such a absolute fun stitch because the pages are small. They are small, and it's very, very doable each month. This is part of Patreon Tier 4. If you're in Tier 4, you get each month for free, you know, from here on out. You can purchase the pass pages, no matter what tier you're in. No, I shouldn't say that. Tier 2, 3, and 4. You can join now and then purchase all the pass pages for $1 each. So it's very practical and reasonable for you to do that and get working on it if you want. Once this design is fully stitched, which will be by the end of the year, so December of 2025, we will be done with this one. And then I will be releasing it in a general release to everyone. But I'll probably actually hold it off for market of 2026. I don't know that, or it depends on how fast I can get it framed. If I get it framed early enough, I could have it for a January release, which would be really nice for 2026. So even if you don't want to stitch it now, but you really like it, you can always wait and just purchase it, you know, when it is released. Next is a Teresa Vanette design. So I should be showing my bags. The problem is I don't know who made all the things. If you don't put your tag on the bag, I don't know who made it. I fell in love with this when I saw it on Etsy. Anything red, white, and blues is just beyond fabulous. But that eagle, that panel, fabric panel is just amazing. And look at that cool fabric on the back. And then this. Lord have mercy, who gave me this? Was this Chris Yo? I'm sorry. I don't know. If this was something you made, please put it in the comments down below so that I know. And I'll put it on the card. I'm going to make a new card for this. I'll put it on the card so that when I bring it up, when I show this next time, I can say who did it. But anyway, it says create every day, because that's my little slogan. There we go. So the first one says create every day, and then it says whimsies. So I call my Patreon members, I call them my whimsies. Okay, then I have in this beautiful bag, which is Blackbird fabric. Again, no label on this one. Look, it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. These bags are just fabulous. And then again, I don't know who gave me that, but isn't that cool? Very cool. This design, or this, what I'm working on, is from Teresa Vanette, Shakespeare Spedler, Most Humble Hands book, which is full of gorgeousness. Look at the back. So pretty. So many good projects in here, but my favorite was this. That's the antique, and this is her reproduction of it, and I just love it. I am stitching that on one of her fabrics too, one of the Wabi Sabi fabrics. I changed all the floss. I think it's all called for DMC, and I wanted to use variegated, so I'll just hold this up if you're interested in what I'm using. There you go. Wabi Sabi molten chocolate cake. Yummo. Makes you want to eat this, right? So I haven't done a ton more, but gal, did I show that last time? I don't know. But anyway, I did like, I think G over or H on over. And I love doing letters. I love doing letters and numbers and verses and all that. Love it. This is something I cannot wait to get done. It's so prim looking, and the fabric is so antique-y looking. It's just wonderful. Oops, I forgot to put the bow back in there. So yeah, get the Most Humble Hands book if you haven't yet. If you like antique samplers, that is a great value. Next we have, this is a beautiful bag from my friend Denise, Dot Goose Designs, with my fabric. And inside is housed my focus piece that I got done. I don't know what day I started it. I know I didn't start it on the 1st because like the 31st is my birthday, so we go out, and then the 1st we got together with the family. So I don't have time to stitch on the 31st or the 1st. So I started it, I want to say it was like the 6th, because then Kristen was in town too. I want to say I started it on like the 5th or 6th of January, and I've been done with it for about a week. So yeah, about 3 weeks it took me to stitch this. Ah, I love it so much. This flower here, I did the center. The center is supposed to be dark, and I don't remember what happened, but I screwed it up. And I decided to leave it because it's a flower, so it doesn't really matter. My goal was to finish this into a pillow, a heart-shaped pillow. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or just finish it into a flat like ornament and have a big like bow coming off of it and having it a flat. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I can't wait to finish it and show it to you guys. So let me just tell you, this was the ornament for January. Oh, I stitched that on, by the way. I stitched it on 40 Count Nature's Dance by Fabrics by Stephanie. And it is a Patreon chart. Now, the original, I got this from a sampler that I designed. I designed the sampler called Spotless Innocence. Let me just grab the, I'm not going to show it to you. Well, I'll do a little quick one. But let me just read it. It has the alphabet at the top, and it says, "May spotless innocence and truth my every action guide, and guard my inexperienced youth from arrogance and pride." Oh, I love that verse. I love that verse. And then at the bottom, I put, and I made this up, Helen Bailey. My grandma's name was Helen. Helen Bailey, age 12, in the year of our Lord, 1810. I don't know if I'm going to keep that there. I might not. But I'll just show you real quick. Here is the sampler. It's fairly large, and I have to pull all the floss and get that sent out to Nicole Dunn. She's going to stitch that for me. I love that sampler so much that I pulled the flowers and things from that to make this. So, having said that, if you're in Patreon or you're going to join Patreon, you can always buy this in the secret shop, $5. The ornaments every month are just $5. Or you can wait, and when that sampler is done, I'm probably going to design either a small pillow, or I'm thinking a drum, because it's got, ooh, it just, there's a scene on there that lends itself to a drum. So there'll be a couple smalls, this one and another one, that will go with that sampler. And that will hopefully be released later this year. So there you go on that. Next, something that I just started just this morning. This was something that I wanted to have for market. Well, it's not going to happen. So I am working on it myself. I was going to send it out to be stitched, and I love it so much, I thought, I'm just going to do it myself. Again, in a beautiful Dot Goose bag with my fabric. I should show you the inside of the bag because it's got Santas on it. I still love Santas, even though it's close to spring. So here's what it's going to look like, and I'm going to go ahead and share this with you throughout the entire time that I'm stitching it. Why did I shut that? I'm sorry. Like, do you like that noise? Because I'm doing it a lot. Even though, you know, I like to keep my new releases a secret, or maybe give a sneak peek until I actually release them. But this one, I'm just going to continue to work on and share it with you as I'm working on it. That's right, I was going to double check on that fabric. I didn't write the fabric down. I'm 100% sure that it's needle and flax, but I think it's Brea. I think it's Brea. I'm going with that. If it's something different, I'll let you know. But here is what it is going to be, and it has a prayer in the center and all kinds of like flowers, and at the bottom it has little angels. So I'll read it to you. This is part of, there's so many dinging. I'm in so many text, so many text threads are going right now. It's kind of crazy. But what was I saying? Oh, this is part of the Divine Mercy prayer. I love the Divine Mercy prayer, and this is part of the prayer you say at the end, and it's not like required, like part of the prayer. It's just an add-on to it. Anyway, it's so beautiful. Listen to these words. Eternal God, in whom mercy is endless and the treasury of compassion inexhaustible, look kindly upon us and keep on increasing your mercy in us, that in difficult times we might not despair nor become despondent, but with great confidence submit ourselves to your holy will, which is love and mercy itself. Is that not gorgeous? That prayer is just so beautiful, and I can't wait to share it with you. I don't have the stitch count on here. What is the deal? Totally unprepared. Oh, I do too. 152 by 188. I'm stitching this on a 40 count. I think it's Brea. And it is, I'm using one thread, one color thread. And it is Valdani 0533 Golden Autumn. And I have never stitched using Valdani. But look at it, it goes from red to burgundy to like an orangey color. So I really love, that's the top left corner, which is where I always start. So I just got a little start on it. Let me shut my furnace off. I'll be right back. Housed in another Dot Goose bag, my Americana line. And then look at my little scissor pull. This is what I designed for Primitive Gatherings, July of 2023. Let me see. That was the one Jean was at with her. I think it was her sister-in-law or her sister. There we go. Because she has family up there and they were having a family reunion. And she says, oh, how perfect. I can go to Teresa's retreat and do the family reunion. So anyway, I designed that as part of their project a little. There we go. Now we got it. Anywho. Now this next one is very near and dear to my heart. This is called Hope and Love. I designed this for some very, very, very dear and near friends to us. So when our kids were growing up, we have a group of friends. Let me back up. We have a group of friends that we got to know through our church, Holy Rosary, in Flint, Michigan. And we knew each other from church, but we really got to know each other through our kids all being in the same age group and the festival. So they used to have the Superfest every year. They called it the Superfest because in its heyday, it was huge. Like everyone in Genesee County and beyond came to this festival. Live music. They had this beer tent that was the size of, oh, I don't know. It was huge. It had two stations where you could get drinks, beer basically, and a huge dance floor, a big stage for the band, and then tons of seating. And then on each end, you could go out and they had just rows and rows of porta potties. I mean, it was the place to be, okay, for the weekend. But it's like started midweek and it went all the way through Sunday. Well, anyways, Kevin and I worked that. Our best friends that this pertains to, they were actually the chair people for the event. So they had a huge responsibility. It was tons of work. My husband was in charge of not in charge of, but on the committee of setup and tear down. And he also eventually was in charge of like hiring the bands when his band wasn't doing it anymore. So anyway, we all worked. I didn't work the entire week because, you know, we have kids in school. I worked the weekend though because our kids were up there the entire weekend, and I would volunteer for different things and the food. Oh yeah, and in that beer tent was food. So there was another tent. They were like joined together, and the thing that joined them together was the kitchen. And there was another tent about half the size, and that was just strictly for food. So that's where the kids could go and eat and stuff, because at a certain time they weren't allowed in the beer tent. Teeny's gonna bark because Kyle just got here. So anyways, sorry that was a long story, but we became super close. We got to the point where we were all so close. Every weekend we got together for a bonfire in the summer because we all missed each other, because like our kids were in the same classes, and so when they would have field trips, you know, we would be together, and we would see each other every Sunday at church, and it was just so fabulous. We don't get together quite as often as we do now. We thought that would continue after the kids grew up, but you know, the kids was one of the main reasons we all got together, so our kids could hang out, right? So all of our kids grew up together, and some of them say, yeah, these are all my moms. Like I have 5 moms because, you know, we all looked out for each other's kids. We are all still very tight, very close together. We do an annual trip. We call it Friends Weekend. And we've been doing, oh yeah. So we've all been getting together every year for like a 4-day weekend, renting Airbnbs, or, you know, going to one of them. They have a family, like his brother, his siblings, and him and his mom own this cabin, and they like do timeshare. Everyone picks out a weekend. Well, the weekend they pick is the weekend we all go and hang out together. So anyway, we do that. We've been doing that for, I'd say, over 15 years, probably close to 20 years we've been doing that. So we're just super close. Well, our friends, their daughter, I can say their names because it's public. Anyways, Kyle and Megan, they have 2 kiddos, and they have a girl, Amelia, and then they have a boy, Lincoln. And Lincoln, he will be 4, I think they said, sometime in February. Well, he was diagnosed with cancer not too long ago, and so Megan was a occupational therapist, and she quit her job so that she could be home with Lincoln and take him to his many appointments, and his doctors and all of that is down in at U of M in Ann Arbor, and that is a good hour drive for her one way. So anyway, she just had to quit her job because she needed to take care of him. So the loss of her income and then the additional expenses of his medical treatments, I decided I would design something and then give all of the proceeds. So for you buy the pattern for $10, they get all $10 of it. I'm happy. I just knew, I knew that you all would support this cause. I showed this, didn't I? Well, this, what it says is just absolutely perfect for the situation. Hope never ends and love never fails. And those are the words that anyone going through a difficult time, you need to remember. So yeah, this is near and dear to my heart. And so I can't remember when I posted it, but the very first week, you guys raised, I wrote her a check for $12,000, and I'm so grateful. And then sorry, and then last week I wrote a check for $2,500. So, and it's still selling. So I am beyond grateful for you guys supporting this young family. I do want to give an update on his health though, because I know people asked. I did post it somewhere. Did I post it on Instagram? I don't know. I mentioned it in my Patreon live. That's what it was. Let me just find the text real quick. Ooh, I'm sorry. So many emotions, you guys. It's all right. Where are we? Sorry. Holy Rosary peeps, where are you? It's in the group text where she updated us on his last tests were so good. Oh, and then we've been going through this thing with last week, another friend out of that group. She's a couple years, 2 to 3 years younger than me. She just had open heart surgery on Friday. Yeah, 95% blockage in one of her main arteries, and thank God she's doing well. I just got word today that she's been moved into a regular room. She's out of CCU, so that's amazing. So that's why I'm scrolling and scrolling, because all of that is about our other friend. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Right here. Nope. That's where he told us about her. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So Megan had taken him for his appointment, and Amy sent this text. We just got this text from Meg. Lincoln had an MRI today because his left eyelid is swollen. There is a substantial decrease in his tumor on the right side. Nothing new on the left or anywhere else in his head or neck. Even the lymph nodes are smaller, thank you God. They are pretty confident that the vincristine, I don't know, which can cause peripheral neuropathy, is causing the nerve weakness, and they're going to add a B6 to his regimen to help stop that from continuing. I'm so happy I sobbed. His tumor is 2 centimeters smaller already, which is amazing. So praise God, it is working. The treatments are working. The prayers are working. What really amazed me too is not only your financial support by purchasing that pattern. By the way, that pattern is still available in my Etsy shop, and it will continue to raise money for them as long as people are buying it. I'm giving them the money. But the prayers, that overwhelmed me equally, or maybe even more so, because people were saying, you know, that we'll be praying for him as I'm stitching on this. And then I want to also share Akshay. He's one of my Patreon members, but he's starting to design too, which is so cool. Hold please. Okay, so Akshay said this in our group, and I wanted to share it with you all, because if you purchased that design, Hope and Love, I would like you to just consider this. He said, ever heard of a prayer sampler? A prayer sampler is when you infuse a prayer with every stitch. If not religious, have a positive thought with every stitch. When the community at large prays together, it really does miracles. Thanks, Teresa, for a beautiful gesture to support Lincoln and getting the community involved. Hope and Love has beautiful elements, but it definitely overshadows the pain that young family and the young boy must be going through. It can be as few as 10 stitches every day, but let's work on this chart together and pray that Lincoln recovers quickly. Who wants to join? So thank you so much, Akshay Raghu. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but I know Akshay is right. So thank you for that beautiful thought as well. So what I do is when I pray for him every day anyways, but when I do my stitching, the first thread is something, you know, just keeping him in my thoughts and prayers and the whole family. And then if I'm going to stitch more than that, I just turn on Flosstube or whatever. But anyway, this is what I have done. I love this border. This design actually started out as an Americana design. I could show it to you in my, well, yeah, I'll show it to you. It was something that I wanted to do for, you know, an Americana design, but then I decided that with a few changes, it would look really, really awesome for Lincoln's design. This sketchbook, y'all, is full of goodness. I just don't have enough time in the day to get everything charted that I would like to. So many things I want to chart. Okay, must be way back here. Okay. So here is an example of like something that I would do. So this was the original design with the bird. So the border stayed the same. I took out the girl and the flag, of course. I just moved the house over and made it more central, like part of the design. And then I added the words with the trees and a little flower basket at the bottom. So you can kind of see them side by side. But it was a jumping off point. It took me about 3 hours to chart that because I really just was so motivated to get it done. And again, here's the design. It says 2025 on it, which I love that it's dated that year. I'm going to get it done this year because that is the year that Lincoln was diagnosed, and it's going to be the year that he beats it as well. So yeah, did I say what it was stitched on? Probably not. It's 40 count, I can tell you that, because you know, it's my jam. Lincoln Strong, 40 count, oh, Farm Girl Dry Goods, chamois. I think that's how you say it. It's CHAMOIS. So I'm in Michelle Rudy, Farm Girl Dry Goods. I'm in her Patreon, and I get fabric every quarter, and this was one of her fabrics. If I hold it back, maybe the color will show. It's not really showing very well. It's got such a pretty kind of peachy undertone to it. It's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to be using her fabric, and it's a pleasure to stitch on, let me tell you. A absolute pleasure. All right, and then I think that's it. That is it. Okay, so I have finished 2 punch needle designs, but they are for market, so I can't show you those. And I have a lot of things out being stitched right now. I've been really focused on that. I have to go get something. I'll be right back. So those were all my whips. The other thing that I have been working on, I knew what I was going to design for Patreon. Like, I had an idea, like I had a jumping off point, but how it came out was totally different than what I thought. I have my sketchbook right here, and I'll have to show you one of the things. But I have to share these floss colors with you guys. These are the floss colors I picked out. I don't do a lot of designing with blue. Blue to me is like, if it's in red, white, and blue, if it's Americana, I'm all in, right? But I don't decorate with blue in my house unless it is Americana. Here are like the main colors. I've got Brethren Blue in there, and I'm telling you, I absolutely love that color blue. Look at those colors. And then I've got, here's all the DMC. There's a dark brown that I just pulled the floss, and it's kind of a mess. All right, so here we go. Here are the floss colors for my February Patreon, and I think it's stunning. I love the colors. Again, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but that is the part of designing that I agonize over. Picking out the floss colors, because it's so important. To me, the designing part, charting things, comes so easily to me. I could do it all day long. I love it. But then I come down here and I pull the floss, and I'm like, well, as you know, floss looks different when it's stitched than it does on a skein. And also when it's next to a different color, like let's say you use Brethren Blue, and you stitch it next to a yellow, and then over here you take Brethren Blue and you stitch it next to, I don't know, let's say a brown or something. It looks different when it's stitched next to different colors. So it's just like, I agonize over it, you guys. But anyway, let me show you the designs. This month is probably one of my favorite months I've designed for in a very long time. I'm absolutely head over heels over this one because it's very folk art. I wanted it this month to have a folk art flair that kind of ran through it. I show in here somewhere, oh yeah, I know where it's at. Right here. So I show them where the design was inspired by. So this is the sketch that was in my sketchbook. It was intended to be a fall design, which I love that. I love the shape of this. I'm gonna work with Chantel and see if she can come up with a board that's kind of that shape that would mimic it for finishing. Yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, really love this design. It's very folk art. So I actually think I'm going to take all of the designs for this month and send them out to model stitchers so that I can release these in a book together. Now this was tier 2, 3, and 4. Then we have tier 3 and 4. Now this is the one, let me show you in the sketchbook first. This has been in my sketchbook. Well, I think I have it dated right here. I sketched that July. This would have been, when did I do my last Whimsy 365 was a couple years ago. So it would have been 2023. Yep, I just found another one that has a date, had the year on it. So July of 2023, I sketched this. So here's the verse up there, and that verse is meant to go in here. And so I had a house up here, and I had this nice little scene down here with birds and a house and a tree and some sheep, and then a little creek going through. And I had a little bridge here. I didn't like the looks of the bridge. And, you know, and then I had like the beginnings of a border. I wanted to do this kind of a border going around it. So that was like the jumping off point for this design. This is what I ended up with. Absolutely love it. The theme running through the entire thing is like, well, yeah, these folk art birds, I love them. I think they're so fun and funky. So let me read it to you. This, and I'm gonna show you. This was inspired by an Irish sampler. I'll read this to you. It says, this sampler was inspired by an 1802 Irish sampler by Elizabeth Band. I love the verse so much I designed this sampler around it. And here's a picture of the original antique sampler. And so it has the verse in it. And that's where I got the verse, and that's where I got the 1802 date. And the idea, of course, to put the sheep in there. But other than that, the rest of the design is all mine. I started out designing this with the border. I love this border, absolutely love this border. I think it's so pretty. And this is square, which I love a square design. So let me read it. Virtue, soft balm of every woe, of every grief and cure. 'Tis thou alone that canst bestow pleasures unmixed and pure. The shady wood, the verdant mead, are virtue's flowery road. Not painful are the steps that lead to her divine abode. So I had to look some of these words up, to be honest. Mead is, like, back in the day, was short for meadow. Like, it meant meadow. So I wanted to have, you know, the shady wood, the verdant mead. So this is the shady wood. I thought I've got to have like a row of trees showing that if you go in there, that's like the woods. And then she has a fence right here to kind of keep the wild from her animals. I love that little white picket fence with the little row of tulips and her little swan. Where's she at? Her little swan. So this is her, little Elizabeth, with her sheep and her little puppy dog chasing the squirrel. Oh, I love it so much. I love the color of the house. So this is her divine abode, which, dang girl, you got you a big house. But I love this. And then the date is 1802 because, again, this was inspired by an Irish sampler dated 1802. I love this. I cannot wait to see this stitched. Super excited about this month. All right, and then the last one, which is for tier 4, House of Hope. Oopsie, sorry. Again, this was a sketch in my sketchbook. And I have to tell you, when I first designed it, I had these red, and I had the house is red. So if you would rather have a red house, I mean, obviously you can make it your own. But I changed it to coordinate better with the other designs, and I changed all that to the blue colors, and oh, it just popped for me then. It just coordinates with all the rest so nicely. And then Virtuous Bird. Now every month I also design an ornament, but it has to be purchased for $5 in the secret shop. Love him, Virtuous Bird. Look at him. He's so cute. Now he is actually the bird that is in this one called Virtue. As you can see, it's the bird over here. And I just took some of the flowers and just arranged them into a circular shape. I love circular designs, and I'm actually going to stitch this myself for a smalls exchange for a friend gathering that we're doing in April. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. So those are my Patreon designs for February, and I love them. I'm going to go over haul, and then I'm going to show you designs, or I should say finishes, that were sent to me by you all. Okay, well, I haven't even opened this. Okay, so I told you earlier that I am part of, or I belong to Michelle Rudy Farm Girl Dry Goods Patreon, and we get gorgeous linen. Ooh, look at this linen. Okay, happy January, Stitchers. This month's fabric selection is titled Valentina, for obvious reasons, but also as a homage to my goat breeding era, which may be behind me. Wow. Anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of this, because if you want to be in the know, you have to join her Patreon. I'm not sharing all of her news with you. But inquiring minds, right? So this is, so see, she writes Patreon. Valentina. Oh, am I saying that wrong? Because that says something different. All right, on here it says Valentina. On here it says Ballerina. So I'm not sure now, but look at this gorgeous pink. And she gives us some cute little heart buttons for Valentine's. Look at the little buttons, guys. Oops, they're upside down. Look how adorable. So cute. But look at this very gorgeous pink. Ah, isn't that pretty? Her fabric is a dream to stitch on as well. Love it. So thank you, Michelle. Keep the good work. Man, she's amazing. All right. Now I've got some more things coming, but I've been searching and shopping for oh, I can't show this. This is a model that came back that I have got to fully finish today for Nashville. Speaking of Nashville, let me just tell you, a week from today, you will be seeing my new release video. If it doesn't pop, or if it doesn't show up on Monday, it will be Tuesday, but my goal is Monday. This week, I have 2 punch needle to fully finish, and I have 2 cross stitch to fully finish. And then I have something coming back to me. So anyway, it won't be long, guys, and you'll get to see all the things that I've been working on behind the scenes, and it's so exciting. Oh. But anyway, I'm photographing and staging. Like photographing and all of that, that's easy. It's the staging that is sometimes difficult, because I don't want to use the same props in every cover I make. So I'm constantly on the hunt when I go antiquing for things that would look good in, you know, a setting. So I bought a couple Kohana scissors. I mean, when you get the Kohana scissors, let me just show you. It came with this cute little ribbon on it. It comes in this nice wood box, and it's like it's sleeping. It's like tucked in and swaddled in there. It's just fabulous. So then you open it, and then you get these beautiful scissors that are just the best quality and so pretty. So you get, they come with the sheath and everything on it, but look at the color. Can you see it? It's like a, oh God, what would you call that? I forget what they called it, but it's like, it's brown, but it kind of looks burgundy in certain light. It's fantastic. It's like a super dark burgundy. Absolutely fabulous. So look for those to be in some staging. If you don't know what staging is, I guess I just assumed. Staging is where you lay out, you know, how you're going to photograph it. You know, what are you going to put, what props are you going to use, and how are you going to, you know, stage it? How are you going to lay it all out for your photograph, right? Then I've been on eBay getting small little notions, sewing notions and things. You guys, this is a treasure. I bought this on eBay, and that is actually stitched. Isn't it fabulous? And look, it's a tape measure. And there's a button on the back. Ah! Isn't it awesome? I love that. So look for that in some photography. And then I have a few more things coming as well. But this one, it was like a whole lot of, when I say a lot, do you know what I'm saying? A lot of something, not, oh, I got a lot of kisses. Not like that. It's more like a lot, which means a grouping of something, and when you buy it, you get the whole lot. Does that make sense? Okay. So I love these old needle packs. There we go. So these will be showing up in, I'm trying to do this quick sweet. I love this one because I love, she looks like a queen with a heart base. Isn't that cool? Those two. And then we got this one. And then we got this one would be cool for staging for Halloween with the orange. And a lot of these with the red, white, and blue, of course, for Americana would be great. So I got some needles for staging. I did get another pair of Kohanas. Now keep in mind, it's been a month since my last floss tube. And my last floss tube, I didn't show you any haul because here's the other ones I got. They are more of a, I'll take them out of the sheath. They're kind of a red too. Can you see it? God, the lighting is terrible today. There we go. Look at that. There you go. That's pretty good right there. So pretty. Other haul. Oh, I got super sweet Stitchy Kindness from Denise. She and her friend Marianne are doing model stitching for me, and the last one they sent back, she gifted me this bag, which is super sweet. I love it so much. So thank you, Denise. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, so I went not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, I went to Chantal's store. Now that it's open, how exciting, and it looks so great in there, you guys. If you have a chance to come to her store, if you're ever in Michigan in the Williamston area. I know in the past I've said Williamsburg instead of Williamston, and it's because Michelle Mueller, she is the beautiful woman that's tracing my rug patterns for me. Her business name is Wild Hair Rug Studio. She lives in Williamsburg and Chantal lives in Williamston, so I get them mixed up sometimes. But I went to see Chantal, and I met Barbara Johns there as well, Stitching with Grammy. And we had a little meeting. I picked up something from Barbara. And then Chantal is designing a board for the Nashville market release. I can tell you this much. I am doing my first ever series. So I'm going to have spring. It's called Every Season. And I have a spring that's coming to Nashville. And then I have summer, fall, winter. So there's going to be 4 designs. She has designed a super cool finishing piece for it, which I should receive tomorrow so that I can fully finish it and get it photographed and all of that jazz. And when I left Chantal's place, she's also designing a piece for me for the retreat at Welcome Stitchery. So Chantal is going to be at the retreat, and I was asked to design something and collaborate with Chantal, which is my favorite thing to do. Seriously, I love her. I love her work. She is a go-getter, that girl. So yeah, when I left there, I went to the Williamston Antique Mall and I picked up this super cool drawer, which would be awesome to display like this. Let me empty it first. Again, I was looking for staging pieces and I found some cool stuff. Maybe not all of it will be for staging, but okay. So here is the drawer, and I love that the handle is not there anymore, but it's like it's imprinted on there. But having this sitting and maybe having a figurine in there, or I don't know, and then something on top, I don't know. We are still kind of figuring out how we're gonna decorate the downstairs, so I'm still collecting things for that. And then you guys, look at this cute thing. I need to take that tag off. I got this little, now whether I ever stage, is there something in there? Oh, that makes me laugh. I didn't know there was something in there. That's hilarious. Somebody put in these plastic grapes. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna leave them in there for now. That's just too funny. But it's a little kid's, oh my gosh, I love this. You know what? I think it would be so cute to chart that. Look at the 3 bunnies. Okay, we're gonna go around the whole thing. So we got the 3 bunnies. A little bunny and a little, look at the guy, a little bunny dressed in the red, white, and blue. This was a heck of a deal. And that's like a, what is that? I think that's supposed to be a, I don't know, a, what would that be? I don't know. Oh, a raccoon, because I see his tail. A little fox. Is that a turkey? No, it's a turtle. It's hard to see on this. A little bear. Oh my gosh, and there's a little critter. And a little chick. I mean, this thing is adorable. Oh my gosh, look at the dancing frog. Oh, it's fabulous. And then look at the top of it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Such a good deal. And I don't remember what I paid for it, but this stuff is usually super expensive and it wasn't that bad. Let me see what I pay. $65. These kind of things, and especially there was one booth in that store that I love. They have, at the end I can maybe insert some pictures of the things that I loved in there, but they're like $300 and some. Yeah, for super cute stuff like this. And then one of these wood paddles that you can just never have too many of because they fit perfectly. I have one right here that has Snickers and pickles on it. Look at this. Look at how perfectly, I actually designed that to fit on that. I remember that. So this one is a very similar kind of size. Super cute. So yeah, watch for a punch needle to be designed for that one. And then an old iron, they had a ton. There was one booth that had a ton of these. Some were kind of pricey, and I just wanted one that was kind of grungy and inexpensive. And then this piece, it's a candle holder, but I don't know. I like it just like this. Oh, I'm not even showing it. I like it just like this. So it's Cupids. There we go. They're Cupids. And there's 3 of them. Anyway, isn't it adorable? And they all have one leg down and one leg up. And all their legs meet in the center. It's just, it's precious. And then, for photography, look at the work on this piece. It's a tablecloth, but look at that. How beautiful is that? So that'll be pretty in some photographs too. And then the center. Oh, it's beautiful. So that, I think, oh, and then when I bought my Kohana scissors, they had these pins that I really love them because they're much smaller than they look like online. Let me open them all the way up. Oh, do you like my hair? I went hacking at my hair last week. When I go get my hair cut, I'm just gonna have to say, please forgive me, for I have sinned. No, my hair was all one length, and it just was hanging, and it was long enough that it was not retaining, like holding any kind of curl, and I looked like an old hag. I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I just started making layers. I didn't do the back, obviously, because I'm not about to do that, but I want to go to her this week and have her feather in and layer in the rest of the back to match the front. But anyway, yeah, I just, you know, do you ever do that, you guys? Just get to a point where you're like, I can't stand my hair. I don't want to wait to get it cut. I'm just going to start chomping on it. There we go. Look at that. Aren't those beautiful pins? So those are from Kohana. All right, I'm going to take a break, clean some of this up because it's a hot mess. And then I have a few more things to show you. Then I will show you your stitching that you sent in, and then we'll be done. Hold please. Another thing that I received that I didn't show in my last video, but it was sitting here on the table and I just saw it. And I will treasure this even more now. When I was at the Autumn of Abundance retreat in November, I had to leave Sunday. My flight home was Sunday, so I didn't get to go to the retreat on Sunday. And Jean gifted everyone something, and Donna Lightsky collected mine and sent it to me, which was so kind of her. This is absolutely gorgeous. The Attic Needlework, Where Samplers Rule, Autumn of Abundance 2024. Oh, you guys. I feel like I don't want to like put it on a keychain because it would get all dirty. I don't really want to put it on a, I don't know. I'm thinking about hanging it somewhere in my studio where I can see it all the time because it's fabulous. And every time I see it, and it's red, you know, Jean loved red. Yeah. So I want to hang this in my studio so every time I see it, I can think of Jean. It's so beautiful. I forgot to show you one of my favorite things that I got on eBay this past week. I got this entire set of pincushions, and they are just so, I can't believe I found it. Let me just start. They're a little bit rough. They are so old, and that is why. So there's this super cool piece. Look at this one. It says 1894 on it. AU. She stitched her initials on it. Look at it. It's just like scrap fabric stitched together to make this pincushion. Oh, isn't it fabulous? And then this is like a needlepoint piece, fully covered. So vintage. Look at that amazing fabric on the back, you guys. Isn't that super cool? I love it. Oh, and then we have this piece. I'm not sure. That's like a tapestry of some sort, but it's really hard to see what it was at one time. But I love this. What is that? The feather stitch or something like that going across on all of the edges. This is kind of like a corduroy on the back. So old. Look at this old tomato, so faded and so worn. It was very loved at one time, right? Well, it's very loved again now by me. Again, and the little wire basket came with it. Yeah, these are great for staging. Look at this little pincushion. I'm not a fan of purple, but faded purple like that, I mean, it's so, just so precious. Look at all the pins in it. I really love this. And last but not least, I absolutely love this strawberry. Look at this strawberry, you guys. Those are beads. I think it's hilarious that they're blue beads. I'm not sure why it's blue beads instead of, like, I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know. Look at the little red right there. Oh. Anyway, these will be great for my photography. So cool. But look at this little cute set I bought on eBay. 2 thumbs up. Something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's finally happening, is I don't know if you guys watch Carolyn and Kerri of Evertote and Roxy Floss Co, but I love their Flosstube. I love them together. I love their style as far as like how they run their business. They don't try to carry everybody on the planet, every single designer, all of their stuff. They are very selective, and what they do is they bring in a design from a designer, and then they what do you call it? Let's translate. I don't like that word. Convert. Then they convert the floss and the fabric into Kerri's floss and fabric colors. It's actually, someone does that for them. Is it Hannah? I think it might, her name might be Hannah. And she does the floss conversion and the fabric conversion. And then Carolyn and Kerri, you know, stitch it in their colors and, you know, the conversion. So I reached out recently to Carolyn to ask her, you know, how do I go about designing with your fabric and your Kerri's fabric and linen? What do I do to get on the designer list, or, you know, how does this all work? So she's so generous. They are so generous that they sent me the entire floss line of Roxy Floss Co, and they sent me some of the fabric as well. I don't know if it's all the fabrics they offer. I'm not real sure on that, but they sent, and I also joined their fabric of the, I don't think it's fabric of the month, but it's like fabric of the quarter. I think it's every quarter, or maybe it's every other month. I don't know. But I joined it in, here's the January one. It is called Cove. Look at this gray. Ooh, it's so pretty. Ooh, it matches my gray sweater. Ah, it's so fabulous. So, yeah, I joined their because, so their floss club, or their floss club, their linen club, they don't necessarily add, I don't believe, I could be wrong, you have to watch their floss tubes. They are entertaining as well. I just love watching their videos. Their linens don't necessarily go into their line, their permanent line. So she didn't know if I wanted to continue, because I joined the floss club and the linen club, and then I reached out to her about designing with their stuff. And so anyway, she sent me the whole floss line, so I canceled my floss club, but I kept the linen club because I told her, I said, well, I do my own stitching of other designers' things, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that because I'll get some different kinds of things that they don't offer normally. And it's fun to have a variety of linen to pick from when you're picking out a project. But here are the fabrics. Oh, the fabrics that they sent me of their regular line that I am going to add that into my arsenal of designing equipment. That is not the right word. My arsenal of designing treasures, I should say, because these are treasures. So let me go through all of these linens. I went ahead, let's see, I think I just told them I wanted 40 count and 36 count because actually these are all, no? Oh, cool. So they mix it up with 36 count and 40 count, mostly 40 count. That's what I like to stitch on, is 40 count. But I'm trying to do some other count fabrics because I know there's a lot of you. I'm going to actually show you the floss first. You know, I didn't realize how expansive their floss line was, and when she sent the floss to me, I was blown away. because this one's number 6. It's so cool because she numbered them. So like, oh, here's number 7, here's 5. And I'm not sure how many are on each ring, but I think 7 is the highest number. Nope, here's 8. Okay, I think 8 is the highest number. So here is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Look at the colors, you guys. This floss looks so, it looks like you get more than you do. Let's see. You get 8 yards. 8 yards. I think the others are like 5. Yeah. So Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts, they're all 5 yards. Let me look at the Gentle Arts. I don't have a lot of Gentle Arts. Theirs doesn't even say. Old brick. So there's our 8. So you get more on each skein. So there's every color you could ever imagine in their line. Look at these. So Carolyn and Kerri, I cannot thank you enough for sending me all of this beautiful floss and fabric to work with. There are going to be times when I just cannot find a color that I need, and so this is going to fill that void for me of being able to get a color. Oh my gosh, these are just fabulous. So fabulous. And then the other ones are in here too. So I have 8 of these rings full of gorgeous colors. Let me see, how did they do this? This one's Granny Smith, I think, yeah, and then grape soda, and then graphite. Okay, so they're in alphabetical order, which will make it easy to find. Aren't they just amazing? One more. This is number 1. So beautiful. And then I'll show you the fabric, and then we will be done with haul. This one is 40 count porcelain. It's a very light color, very light. I love that. I'm going to hold them together because this will help. This is dirty porcelain 40 count, so you'll see it's a shade darker. So here we have porcelain and dirty porcelain, so you can see it's a little bit darker. Then we have 40 count biscuit. Look at those 3. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, there we go. It's showing it nice now. And then speculoos. Okay, I want to still hold. I'm gonna hold porcelain up the whole time because it's the lightest, and it will be a good jumping off point for the rest. This is 40 count speculoos right here. Ooh, look how pretty. There we go. And then panettone. Oh, 40 count panettone. These are just the best sampler colors. Right up my alley. Look how pretty. Rustic pistachio. Oh my gosh, look at rustic pistachio. Okay, so where's my porcelain? Porcelain against, oh, look at that. Rustic pistachio, look at that. And then here's a, okay, so I've got a 2 40 count panettones. Nice. Oh, a half yard and a quarter yard. Wow, thank you. How kind. And then, oh, yeah, okay, so 40 count. Okay. So there you go. Look at these colors, you guys. I love this. I've got to design something specifically for that. That's so pretty. Something fall would be pretty on there because there's those gold tones. Not gold, I mean like a rusty tone. Oh my gosh. So thank you. Thank you so much, Kerri and Carolyn, for sending me these amazing, amazing, like, it's just like Christmas opening that box. So thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to show the things that you have sent in to me, and let's just do it. First we have Patty Wyan. She stitched Merry Merry Spring. That is from, oh, I'm not sure. It probably says in here, so let me just read this to you. Hello, Teresa. I hope you're well and having a wonderful holiday season. This was from January 8th. I finally finished Wings. I started on July 17th of 2024 and finished stitching around 8/7. I forgot to write down the fabric, but I believe I stitched it on 28 count. I used the called for flosses. I finished on a wood crate I had for some time. I purchased the bluebird at a primitive store some time ago and painted distressed eggs for the nest. Merry Spring I had shown before, but had to fully finish due to milk being spilled on the piece I finished it on. Luckily, it did not get on my stitched piece. I found the frame at Target Dollar Spot that had a generic stitched piece on it. After gluing it into place, I wished I had waxed the frame, so I settled for using Distress ink in Vintage Photo. I originally finished on March 20th of 2023 and fully finished it on 1/6 of 2025. Cloth is 20 count mushroom Lagana 2/2 using the called for flosses. I look forward to the monthly Patreon charts, and I am stitching along with Hometown and I love it. I am eagerly waiting to see what you have for us at market in March of 2025. As usual, you knocked it out of the park with Jingle Ball, and I bought everything that I did not already have. Take care. Thank you so much for your support, Patty. Oh my gosh, those are cute finishes too. Thanks for sending those in. All right, next we have Vanna Pfeiffer. She finished Green Coat Santa, and oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about Green Coat Santa and his stinking coat color. I've talked about it before. I'm going to keep talking about it until everybody in the cross stitch community gets it and has heard it. So Green Coat Santa was charted all in DMCs. It was a Patreon chart in 2023, I believe, 2022, somewhere around there. And my friend Dot Goose Designs, Denise, stitched it for herself, and she used a variegated floss for the coat. Everything else was called for. When I made the book, I asked to use her finished piece for the cover photo, or, you know, to be in the book, and then it ended up being the cover photo as well. I meant to put in the book what floss she used instead of the DMC that was called for. I forgot to put it in the book. So I'm getting tons of emails and messages asking what was used on the cover. Well, she used, let's just grab them right now. She used something that no longer looks like this. She used Weeks Dye Works Bayberry, but again, this was back in, I think it was 2022. So if you look at Bayberry now, which I just ordered this from Lindy Stitches, as you can see, Bayberry now is a very blue-green, I guess you could say. So now, that's what Denise used. But as you know, hand-dyed floss changes over time, especially when it's hand-dyed. And now the closer one that Denise says is Grassland by Weeks Dye Works. So as you can see, Grassland is more of a yellow-green. So, you know, it depends on what you're going for. You know, photography also changes the color of things. I mean, if you love the color on the book cover, then take your book with you, or, you know, borrow the one at the store and match your green floss to the cover. You know, so that's one way you can do it. So there is Grassland. There you go, Grassland and Bayberry by Weeks Dye Works. Big, big difference. So then I thought, well, I'm just going to pull a few more that are green and just show them all together. So now I'm adding in, so first we have Bayberry, Grassland. I'm adding in Classic Color Works Chop Chive and a Weeks Dye Works Kudzu. So here are some more greens for you. If you want a lighter green, Chop Chives is a nice one. And then here we have, what did I say? Kudzu. Kudzu is very similar, as you can see, to Grasslands. Very similar. I don't know if you can really see that. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up for you guys. Okay. And if you go on Instagram, you're going to see many different people stitching this on different color, using different color green floss. So Vanna used Weeks Dye Works Blue Spruce. So here is a picture of Vanna, and look at her amazing finish. It's so beautiful. Yeah, Weeks Dye Works Blue Spruce is what she used. Here's another one. This is Jolinda Pfeiffer, Homespun Needlework. She used, let's see, used all the called for colors except I used DMC Variations 4065 for the coat, hat, and pants. So there is, DMC does have some variegated flosses, and she used 4065, and look at her coat. That's cool too. So there's a lot of different options out there. It depends if you want more of a blue green, or do you want a light green, or do some, like for instance, Chop Chives. There's not a lot of variegation in Chop Chives. So if you're looking for a variegated floss, this probably would not be the floss for you, because as you can see, there's very little variegation in it. You know? So there you have it. I don't know how else to do that other than that way. Ooh, look at this. So these are on Instagram, so I feel like it's public, it's out there. This is BG, no. Oh, that's the song. I'm sorry. Lucky Beating Art. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Let me see the translation. The main character in all his glory, the design is not small. Removing from snaps and rearranging to frame. The frame is left. I will slowly finish it. So BG Adair, Winter Wonderland is the song. But oh look, she's doing this Santa that was, that's the Instagram. But look at her beautiful photo, and she's stitching that. What is he called? Greetings from St. Nick. Oh, look at her fabric. She doesn't say what the fabric is, but that's really pretty. Then look at this. Okay, it's a little video. You gotta watch this. Okay, let me start it over. I'm gonna get out of the picture and we're gonna start it over. Watch the video. She painted that black. I'll read what she said so that you guys, if you're interested in doing that, you can get the same thing she did. Look at this. It's so stinking cute. Ah, those are the cats. Those are the cats from my Halloween sampler. And this is what she said. Fourth fully finished object of 2025. These super fun black cats were stitched from the Halloween sampler pattern in the Hello Halloween book by Teresa Kogut on 28 count Lugana in the color Heirloom from Needle Bling Designs using all the called for DMC. Tic-tac-toe board is from Hobby Lobby, spray painted matte black. Ah, this is so good. This is from home dot on dot the dot ridge dot. It's just so cute. So that's just fabulous. Cross stitch by Christy. She is stitching the fundraiser for little Lincoln. Look how far she's gotten. Oh, it looks so cute. So cute. I want to bring this up because this is the time of year that you would want to stitch something like this. This is Bluebirds of Hope. This is an exclusive for Claire's Stitching Post. So if you want to get that, you need to give them a call. I will put her information in the drop down menu. No, I will put that in the description box below. I think I already have all her contact information down there. That super cute piece. Ah, it's so cute. So yeah, you can also get it fully kitted, I believe. I think she's still doing the full kit. Oh, I still love this. Anything folk art. This is Jura. Oh, I don't know how to say her name. Juradeva. Second embroidered design by designer Teresa Koga. Early folk art sheep. Love that piece. Anything folk art. It's just my favorite. Oh, there you go. Super cute. Oh, I love this. This is Tammy Klein 8. And the Be Mine Valentine with the cute little Cupid in the corner. That was my January Patreon for tier 2, 3, and 4. Be Mine Valentine. She made it into a cute little pillow. That's so cute. Ah, oh, look at this. Deb Boutwell. Look at hers. This is Green Coat Santa. I like that frame, the arched frame, and she put a star button at the top of the tree and a jingle bell for the end of his hat. Very cute. Super cute. Oh wow. Now look at this one. I have not seen this one yet. This is Natalia Murnafa. It says, first significant finish of 2025, Santa in Green by Teresa Koga, embroidered on Lucan 32 count silk with my coloring, the beard and mustache, my own idea, embroidered with gamma cloud threads. That's my mustache, handsome guy. Do you like it? Write a few words. Look at how she did the mustache on Green Coat Santa. Ah, very cool. Very cute. Let's see. Oh, he's really cute like that. And she's just showing different parts of the design. Oh, she put December 31st. That's my birthday. I wonder if that's her birthday too. Huh. Oh, he's really cute with his face like that. So there you go. She didn't say what green she used, but it sure is pretty. So cute. Oh, I love this one. Neely's Needle Nest, Chocolate Bunny by Teresa Koga, from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine back in 2020, stitched during COVID. I'm pretty sure we've released that pattern though, if you're interested in stitching that Chocolate Bunny. Oh, because I have him stitched. The model was stitched on a chocolate linen. Oh my goodness, so cute. All right, I think that's it. Oh, Kelly S. Coleman, she stitched up on the housetop. That was a Jingle Ball exclusive for 2024. She's all done. Wow, she got that done. When did she post that? January 18th. Wow, she cooked on that. All right, that's it. Thank you for sending your things in. All of those that I showed you, they had tagged me in their posts. So if you do finish one of my pieces and you'd like me to feature it here, if you tag me on Instagram, then I could just show it that way and you wouldn't have to email it to me. But if you do, email it to me at teresakoget3@gmail.com and I would be super happy to share it here on my Flosstube video. That's it, guys. My goodness, this went long. So I hope you stuck it out until the bitter end. But thanks for joining me today. I will be back. It might be a monthly thing. I watched Tara Sullivan today, and she's doing like a monthly recap, and I'm like, that might just have to be me. I want to do every 2 weeks, but for the past 2 weeks I've been trying to do a floss tube, but it's hard. Like, we're gearing up for Nashville, and I'm in the throes of designing for Park Designs and working on fabric lines, as well as prepping for Nashville and thinking about retreats this year and getting all that stuff out to be stitched. So it's just a zoo here, and I just, once a month would be better than nothing. So thanks again, and don't forget, create every day. Bye now.